Raj, you've got a couple of other roles coming up as well. And since we're talking about breaking stereotypes, I just want to understand how you're further pushing those boundaries. What can we look forward to? I think you've got Bheer with Anubhav Sinha coming up and Mr. and Mrs. Mahi with Dharma as well. What are you looking forward to? Because you're now at the top of, you have been at the top of your game for a while. You've been surprising and delighting the audiences with almost every piece of work. What's next?
Well, I'm trying to choose films or series which are really close to my heart and films, that I can be proud of. I don't really sign a film thinking about anything else that, what will it do at the box office because nobody really knows that. So at least do the kind of work that you can be proud of. After 10 years, you would look back and people would still talk about those films. Like right now, we were just standing outside and people were still talking about Newton, our team, your team, and Shahid and Omerta, which is great. I want that in my filmography. So the next will be Bheed with Anubhav Sinha, as you said, another one of the finest filmmakers we have in the country, so socially aware. Then there's Guns and Gulabs with Raj and DK, who are just amazing. Then there's Mr. and Mrs. Mahi with Janvi Kapoor, which is being produced by Dharma Productions. So three very different films, but films that I can't wait for you guys to watch.
And at a personal level, what were the stereotypes that you had to break when you first started out in the industry? And how is the perspective or where you're standing from, how have things changed today?
Well, I was starting out, I used to go for auditions and very rarely somebody would audition me for the lead part. They would always audition me for, a friend's part or maybe a character who's got a 2-3 days work. And, but I think Dibakar saw something and actually I really had to push for that audition as well, but I'm glad I did because that became my first film and things changed after that. But I was aware, when I came to the city, I was I'm still not the most good looking guy in the room or not the tallest guy in the room, not the best build muscles, but I'm the most hardworking guy. I'm the hardest worker in the room. That is something which nobody can take away from me. And my love for my work is enough for me to keep going. I think that is something which has kept me going. A lot of people ask me that now, take it easy. It's fine. People know that you're a good actor. Now think about anything else. I said, no, it's not for people. It's for me. It was always for me. It will always be for me. I can't just take it lightly. I really have to give it all because I love what I do. And all of us, I think we really love what we do.
No, and that comes through. And Huma, you were talking earlier about the kind of response you now see on digital, with the power of OTT. And in fact, Abhishek was echoing that earlier on today as well. Tell us about the kind of response you had for some of these very career-defining roles, whether it's Leila, whether it's what you're doing now, whether it's Double XL. Are you seeing the change? In terms of breaking the mold, in terms of people now adapting to the unconventional and seeing it as a new norm.
I think people are always ready for new content. I think, and what OTT has managed to even do further is make it more apparent. See, there's a certain conventional theatrical wisdom that, we don't know who created it, but oh, this doesn't work, that works. This is the kind of format of storytelling that people want to watch. But that's not necessarily true. Or these are the kind of stories that need to be seen or heard. Or this is what a hero should look like. Or this is what a heroine should look like. And this is not necessarily true. I think if you give people engaging content, they will try, and make time and pay money to watch it. And I feel definitely there's a huge sort of acceptability about that. Whether it's been subjects like Raj has done a film called Badhai Do, which is about homosexuality, which was really widely well received. Or just the kind of response I'm seeing from people in general, even with a Double XL, trailer coming out. Women just crying and being like, thank you for making this film because we feel seen, we feel heard. We feel somebody is telling us that just because we look a certain way, we don't deserve to be showcased or spoken about. And I feel like, and I've said this before also, I think it's a film for all people who've been made to feel that they are misfits somehow, and you don't need to necessarily feel that. So definitely I feel that there's a greater degree of acceptability and receptiveness to new themes. Because I think people are also bored. And I think post-COVID, what has genuinely happened is that there's been an explosion of just the content people have consumed. We all have seen, global cinema, regional cinema, because we had nothing else to do. And I feel overall, the general content watching IQ, if I can call it that, has kind of, the bar has been raised. So we have to, as the industry, just give better stories to people to watch. And I think they will.
Are you getting comparisons to Helen post the release of this song? Comparisons to Helen and the original?
For the song, no, 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 not at all. I think पाप है ये पाप नहीं करना चाहिए हमको कभी भी classics को touch मत करो. And I think Helen ma'am is too special. So I think we had this conversation also when we were prepping for the song. एक तो ये जो मेरे डायरेक्टर हैं ये और विजय गांगुली मुझे एक दिन ऑफिस बुला के they are showing me like a video of all Helen ma'am and Parveen Babi's like footage cut to the song saying ऐसा सा कुछ shoot करेंगे. So I have died saying how do you think I or anybody can match up to what they have done. But I think the song is nice. It's turned out really well and we had too much fun shooting it. But I don't think you should touch a classic. But what we have done is try to create a original number which still has that retro feel and vibe. So kind of like a throwback and an ode to that era, which all of us really love. I think what Vasan set out to make is this very noir film set in, India. And I feel we managed to succeed in doing that.